How did you feel about Vice President Pence's debate performance?
Remember when Freddie Mercury at the end of Bohemian Rhapsody did the Live Aid concert?
Okay, yes.
Just a very powerful, flamboyant, strong, defiant performance. Did you
Okay.
see Bohemian Rhapsody?
I did not, but I know what you're talking about. I've heard.
I did.
Okay, well,
I
it
could,
only
I could
made
tell all
800.
about it.
Yeah, it made $800 million and was nominated for 6 Oscars. So no, it's okay that you missed it. It was a little indie art house film, but I felt like that. You know who Freddie Mercury is? Tech stuff, right?
Yes, yes. And I know what you're talking
He had
about.
he had a big Live Aid performance.
Mhm.
Okay, and Mike Pence, I thought, carried himself with that same powerful, very heterosexual energy on stage that Freddie Mercury had. And it was powerful. And he had that, remember when that fly attacked him?
Yes. What do you think about that?
It was a total disgrace. As we discussed, as Mike Pence discussed, you had him as a guest on the bonus episode.
I never met him before, but he was very charming.
No, well, that's what they do. He's like a creepy youth pastor. But that fly attacked our vice president. That African-American fly landed on his head. If that fly had done that to me, I would have knocked the crap out of that fly. But Mike Pence lives his Christian faith and was very gentle to the fly. And I think that showed a good balance for our ticket, because Mike Pence was being attacked on all sides by African Americans. There was Kokomo Harris and the fly. Believe me, when I see Mike Pence watching certain videos on his computer, that's not the type of 2 African Americans and 1 Pence that he's looking for. He's looking for, that was not good stuff. He did not like that, but he took it. He took it very strongly.
There's a story about Pence and about how he wound up on the ticket. I wonder if you'd comment on it. In 2016, when you went to Indiana to interview him, that you had made the decision not to put him on the ticket, that you were going to go out to Chris Christie, and that Jared and some of the others really wanted Pence to be on the ticket. And so they told you that your campaign plane had broken down and you had to spend an extra night in Indianapolis. And it was in that extra night that Pence won you over. And by the next day, you had picked him. I don't know that story to be true or not, but that is a story that I've heard from several different sources. I wonder, is that true?
What happened that night, Mr. President?
Well, I will say he's very convincing, is all I'll say. Now, I will say that, Jared doesn't like Chris Christie, calls him Krispy Kreme. And because, he put his father in jail. Jared Kushner's father was put in jail for, what Jared Kushner's father did? It was it was an innocent thing. He had a dispute.
He set up his brother with a hooker.
He had a dispute with his I think it was brother-in-law, which isn't even real. Who cares about that? And he then set his brother-in-law up with a hooker, recorded it, secretly. He did it strongly and secretly, and then sent the tape to his sister. And what good brother wouldn't send a sex tape that they manipulated of their sister's husband with a prostitute? Who wouldn't send that to them? And, then he went to jail because of Krispy Kreme. And that upset Jared Kushner very much. And so he didn't want Christie on the ticket. So we did end up spending an extra night in Indianapolis. There was, there was some entertainment. And then Pence showed up and, he prayed a little bit with the prostitutes, trying to convince them not to, to turn over a new leaf, and they didn't because the money was very good. But then I thought Mike Pence showed great character, because once he couldn't, convince the prostitutes not to sleep with us, he helped us bury them the next day. So I could see that he had both Christian faith, but also great political loyalty. So no, after that, you are right. It was the extra night in Indianapolis that showed me that our great vice president, BGMP, had the power of faith and of strong political loyalty.